Center for Agriculture and Biosciences International and Intrio Synergy Limited present Farmer Education Video Series. Theme: Good Farming Practice for Soybean Production in Nigeria. This video covers the following topics: land preparation, seed selection, how to conduct a germination test, inoculation, planting, applying fertilizer, weed management, harvesting, post-harvest, and storage. Land preparation. There are several options for preparing land for soybean cultivation. They are mechanical land preparation. With mechanical land preparation, this involves plowing with a tractor and harrowing. And with manual land preparation, this involves a hoe and cutlass to clear the land, till it, and make ridges. The third form of land preparation is by animal-drawn plow. Whichever option the farmer can afford or have access to, he can till the land properly and get the seed bed ready for planting. Seed selection. Depending on where you're located in Nigeria, the varieties of soybean you can grow vary from one place to another. Soybean can be grown anywhere across the country, but the best ecology for soybean cultivation is in the savanna belt. This belt in the map is the area shaded light green, where you have the derived savanna, Sudan savanna, and Sahel savanna. These are examples of local government areas in each of the agroecological regions for use. The Southern Guinea savanna has Ilorin, Ofa, Irekbodun in Kwara states, Boko, Buruku, Konshisha, and Gwe West local government areas of Benue State. The Northern Guinea savanna has Bida, Mokwa, Lapai, Paiko in Niger states, Kajuru, Chikun, Ikara, Igabi, and Kubao local government areas of Kaduna State, Lafia, Obi, and Nasarawa Egon local government areas of Nasarawa State. In the derived savanna, we have Kachia, Makarfi, Lere local government areas of Kaduna State. And in the Sudan savanna, we have Biu, Kwayakasau, Bayo, and Hawul local government areas of Borno State. Whatever variety you choose, which is suitable for your ecology, make sure the seeds are very clean, free from impurity, debris, and are not damaged. In the Southern Guinea savanna, you can grow the TGX 14482E or 19046F. You have several options in the Northern Guinea savanna, derived and Sudan savanna. You can choose different varieties depending on how much rainfall you have and the length of the rainfall. Whatever variety you have chosen, you need to conduct a germination test. And that leads us to the next phase: germination test. This test ensures that what you are planting germinates well. And the test follows a number of procedures. You must make sure that your seed is clean by removing all the impurities. Randomly select 100 seeds of the seed knot you want to plant. Plant them in a soil-filled bowl, moistened for at least 10 days before the day you want to plant, with the objective of finding out how many of them will germinate. 5 days after planting, observe these seeds and count how many of the 100 seeds germinated. Depending on the number of seeds that germinate, your seeds can be classified as either good enough for planting or one that requires that you plant more number of seeds than you would have planted ordinarily, or you need to change the seeds altogether. If at least 80 seeds germinate, you should plant 2 to 3 seeds per hole. If 70 to 80 seeds germinate, you should plant 3 seeds per hole. But when you have less than 70 seeds, you should get new seeds altogether. Once you have tested your seed and it is viable enough, the next step is to inoculate your soybean seeds. Inoculation. This is a very crucial step that needs to be taken seriously in soybean production with the objective of achieving a very healthy and productive soybean plant. When you inoculate your soybean with rhizobia, what you find is that the vegetation of the plant is very good, deep green and healthy, because the inoculant helps the plant synthesize its whole nitrogen. This happens because the rhizobia inoculant lives in the root of the plant, forms the nodules, takes the atmospheric nitrogen and converts it to nitrates that can be used by the plant. This is Nodumax soybean inoculant. It's a biofertilizer that can be used to inoculate soybean seeds. It comes in 100-gram sachet and it can be used to inoculate 10 kilograms of soybean seeds. The sachet contains the inoculant powder, the user manual in Igbo, Hausa or Yoruba, and gum arabic. Inoculation follows the following process. Dissolve the gum arabic. Break the gum arabic into a plastic bottle with 100 ml of warm water and then shake very well until it dissolves. Measure 10 kilograms of soybean seeds. Please note, 3 full 5-liter paint buckets can be used as demonstrated for 10 kilograms measurement. Sprinkle the dissolved solution on the seeds and mix. While sprinkling, your aim would be to make the seed moist and not wet, so the powder can stick on it. Pour in the inoculant powder and mix thoroughly. For every 10 kg seed you have measured, you must pour the 100 gram of inoculant powder into it. Mix until it is evenly coated. If your mixture is not wet, you can plant immediately, but if your mixture is very wet, you can allow it to dry for 15 minutes or less, and then you can start planting. Where there is no shade, you can make one out of 4 sticks and a sack in order to cover your inoculated seeds from direct sunlight. Too much sunlight on the seeds will affect the inoculant because it's a living organism and you won't want it to die before getting into the soil. After 5 minutes, the seeds are ready to be planted. Planting. You must make sure to plant everything you have mixed. You may want to note that the seed requirements and spacing vary. You can either plant on a ridge or on a flat land. If you choose to plant on a ridge, you can plant 2 rows on a ridge, place 3 to 4 seeds per hole, 2 cm to 3 cm deep and 5 cm apart, and then you can carefully close it, not too tight for easy germination. Another method is the drilling method, where you can make a line on the ridges, then place 1 seed each. If you decide to plant on flat land, while planting, in order to get the proper spacing, you plant 5 centimeters between holes and 50 centimeters or 75 centimeters between rows. Place 3 to 4 seeds per hole. Fertilizer application. Fertilizer application requirement for soybean is phosphate predominantly. You don't need nitrogen, especially when you have inoculated the soybean seeds. You can either use SSP, DAP, or TSP. Recommendations: SSP, 3 bags per hectare. TSP, 1.5 to 2 bags per hectare. DAP, 1.5 to 2 bags per hectare. You place your fertilizer 2.5 centimeters away from the plant and 1 spot between every 2 planting holes. Then you cover. Please note, we advise on the need to apply fertilizer immediately after planting. Weed management. Weeds are any plants that are growing on the field that you do not desire, and it competes with your soybean crop for nutrients. Whether you do it manually or with chemicals, you must make sure that your field is free from weeds. Manual method. This involves using a hoe to remove all the weeds and getting them off the field. Chemical method. There are several herbicides that can be used, especially at planting, to prevent the weeds from growing in your field. If you use the right herbicide and it is sufficiently effective, you will find out that throughout the lifetime of your crop, weed emergence will be limited and there will be very little competition with your crop by weeds or nutrients. You should contact your agro dealer or extension officers to choose the right herbicides dependent on the weeds that grow in your area and the ecology that you have. Precautions. The chemical must be kept away from food in order not to be mistakenly ingested by anyone because they are poisonous. While spraying, you must be kitted properly to avoid the chemical touching your body. You must wear a cover that protects your arms and legs properly, but the trouser shouldn't be tucked into your boots because the chemical can still flow into it and touch your skin. After every spraying operation, wash your body thoroughly with clean water. Clean your spraying equipment and store them in a dry place so it can be drained, ready, and good for use next time. Harvesting. You have to continue to observe your field or when they are mature for harvest. You will identify a ready field by the leaves and pods of the plant gradually turning yellow to golden color from the green color that they used to be. Once you have 8 out of every 10 pods begin to turn golden yellow color, it means your field is ready for harvesting. When you're harvesting, be careful not to uproot the entire soybean plant. You should cut the soybean plant at the base using a cutlass or a hoe. This method allows the root of the plant, which contains the inoculant and some of the nitrogen that has been produced by the crop during its life, to be retained in the soil, and it keeps the soil more nutritious for the next crop that you will be growing. Once you have harvested and cut your stems, stack them up, preferably over a tarpaulin and not directly on the ground, so that you won't be losing any soybean seeds. You can recover them from off the tarpaulin. Keep the cut stems and allow them to dry thoroughly, then thresh them. Post-harvest. You can thresh by using a club to beat the cut soybean stem so the seeds can drop out, or by shelling them mechanically. We generally recommend that you shell mechanically when your farm becomes bigger because you can complete your shelling in good time and save the seeds from a lot of damages that you often experience when you do manual threshing. If you do not have the mechanical thresher, you can rent from various communities around you. Storage. When you're done threshing, you gather it. Remove all the chaff by winnowing, either manually or through the threshing equipment. Then you clean the beans and dry it properly. You should not keep beans above 10% to 20% moisture content in storage. Spread them on clean cemented surface or on a tarpaulin for at least a week to ensure they are properly dried before you pack them in bags and store away. Soybean seeds can store for a relatively long time. They are less vulnerable to storage pests than to other legume seeds. Once you have them properly dried, bag them and tie them, but make sure you stack your bags on pellets. Stack them away from the floor to avoid moisture seepage from the floor into the beans. Stack them away from the walls too, to enable you walk around for inspection to detect any pest attack. With all of these processes done properly, you would have a good soybean ready for the market.